Hi, this is Dr. Dan. Welcome to pillar number 3, breathing. For me, my breathing was something that I didn't even realise was wrong. At around age 31, along with all my other symptoms, I had snoring and sleep apnea and poor breathing habits, which also led to hay fever, for which I was medicated during the summer months. But I had no idea it was down to how I was breathing. As a dentist who was treating children to help them grow their jaws, I spoke to one of my mentors about how I could improve my treatments, and he said to me, you need to know an awful lot more about breathing if you want to be really good at treating the children. And I kind of didn't really know what he was talking about, but I went on the course that he suggested I went on, and during this time I realised that the way we breathe affected so many different things. I didn't realise that the nose was so important for our immune system. The nose warms, filters and humidifies the air. It basically cleans the air before it goes into our body. So if we bypass the nose by breathing through the mouth, for example, we end up taking in all of this stuff that shouldn't be going into our bodies. I've had a patient who was diagnosed with dust mite allergy, and she was taking steroids and she was being lined up for immunotherapy. She was only age 8, and she came to my clinic to try and improve her breathing, and she actually wasn't particularly compliant with some of the exercises that I wanted her to do. But what she did do is she went off dairy products with my advice, and that magically opened up her nose and stopped her having so much mucus and congestion. So her breathing started to improve just by changing what she ate. Anyway, she came back a couple of weeks later, and I got the biggest hug that you could ever imagine from her mum. And her mum said, Sophia can now breathe through her nose. It's amazing. She hasn't breathed through her nose in years. And it was absolutely amazing to just see that. But her mum asked me, why has this happened? What's actually happened? What's changed? And I explained that when we breathe through the nose, we breathe a smaller volume of air. So even though Sophia may well have still been breathing dust mites in, those dust mites were affecting her less because she was breathing fewer of them in. Not only that, her nose was filtering those dust mites out, so she was taking less of them into her body as well. So the nose is just an amazing organ, and if we don't use it, we actually lose it. If we breathe more through the mouth, the nose blocks up much more easily. So it's a sort of a chicken and an egg thing, but it is possible to unblock the nose. And once the nose is unblocked, if we can keep breathing through it, it tends to stay open. So sometimes just one breath through the mouth will start a cascade of reactions that ends up making the nose block up again. And one thing that you can really do to improve your sleep is also to learn to breathe through the nose while you sleep. And there's various different ways of doing that. I do have a product called Sleepy Strip, and if you go to sleepystrip.com, then you can have a look at that. And on there's so many great tips to help you with your breathing beyond just wearing the Sleepy Strip at night. But for me, when I changed my breathing patterns, when I went to the Buteyko Institute of Breathing and Health, I changed my breathing patterns, and so many other things changed for me. So the way I sleep, the way I could do sport, I could go for runs, and I could run for further distance without being tired, just by breathing in a different way. And breathing in this different way, breathing a normal volume of air for your level of activity, helps to balance out the carbon dioxide and the oxygen in the body, and it helps to deliver oxygen to all of your cells via this amazing thing called the Bohr effect. So when we breathe correctly, we have the right amount of carbon dioxide, and that has an effect on our oxygen to deliver oxygen more effectively to our body. So an example would be if you breathe too much air and you hyperventilate and you get dizzy, that's not because you're not taking enough oxygen in, it's because the oxygen isn't being delivered to your brain. And the symptom is dizziness, and then if you carry on breathing in that way, eventually what will happen is you'll actually faint, and that's the body's response to try and slow your breathing down so that you can actually restore your normal carbon dioxide levels and get the oxygen to your brain so that you don't get brain damage. But you can imagine if you're breathing this way and your brain's not being oxygenated, what's happening to the rest of your body? Every cell in your body is not being oxygenated so well when we overbreathe. So breathing through the nose is a fantastic thing to do, and if anyone's struggling with breathing, in particular struggling with the nose staying open, I really suggest that you consider trying to find a breathing educator. And there's so many different types of breathing educators out there, so many different methods of it, but if you can improve your breathing, it really will change your health.